This is Eagles Talk on A2D Radio, and as always, we are brought to you by Baggio's Bread, located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, home of the best stuffed breads, tomato pies, sandwiches, cutlets, and meatballs. Make sure you mention A2D Radio for 10% in-store purchase. It's your boy Chux, it's Brinks, it's PY, and we are here to talk Eagles football post-game recap, our first post-game recap of the season, as we have just witnessed the Eagles knocking off the Green Bay Packers on Monday Night Football 10-7. I don't even know about that game, but
I do.
we will get into it. A lot to say.
Yes.
It'd be interesting to see if it's like if we approach it like glass half full, glass half empty. But
No.
let's dive into it. And Les is planning to join us as well for a little bit tonight. So we are with you here on Eagles Talk. So keep the comments coming. We've got some people here already. Mark Shark says, what a blank show from the offense. Greg Miller says,
That's facts.
Sirianni. Andrew Baker says, Sirianni almost cost us the game with the absolute idiotic decision. Little Griffith says, a big fan of the Eagles, season better. Eagles win game. Eagles 7-2. Eddie says, thanks for the show. You're welcome, Eddie.
You're welcome.
VD Page was also wondering what we're all wondering. What was that call in fourth punt and pinned them inside the 10? A lot to cover. So let's dive into the poll question, gentlemen, because we have to start somewhere. So let's start with the defense. The poll question is, this Eagles defense is good enough to carry the team on a playoff run, even with the offensive inconsistencies. Agree or disagree? Just in time, we've got Mr. Les Bowen. Like I said, Les, how are you on this late night? How are you holding up after that Eagles win? I guess you can say.
Well, I went to sleep and I had the strangest dream. I dreamed that with 33 seconds left, the Eagles had 4th and 6, well into Green Bay territory, and they could have kicked a field goal, which would have meant that Green Bay had to score a touchdown with 30 seconds or so left. Or they could have punted, and Green Bay would have had to go like 90 yards in less than 33 seconds. And instead, they tried to throw a touchdown pass. But I'm glad I woke up. The game was over by then, but I assume the Eagles did something really smart, and that they're just rolling along now.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. So let's.
Does anybody explain this?
I don't know, Les. I don't know.
What the hell?
I don't know. We will get into that, but let's start with the defensive side.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
sorry. We won. So let's start off positive. And the positive takeaway from this game was the defense. Man, did they put forth
Jalen Phillips?
Oh my gosh! And I want to give them the props because I know people are going to want to talk about the offense and Nick Sirianni, but we have to give the defense their props and their credit. So, Les, let's start with you then.
Okay.
What do you think of this poll question? Is this Eagles defense now with Jalen Phillips in here, especially who balled out? Do you think this defense is good enough to really carry the team, considering the inconsistencies we're seeing from this offense still?
It's a good question. I don't like it because it's ridiculous that this should be what we're thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a defense that can win you a playoff game if it has to against some opponents, not every opponent, but why do we need to do that?
Yeah.
I guess I don't know what my answer is. What the hell is my answer? Were they playing the 85 Bears tonight? What What was this?
I don't know. I really don't know. PY, what do you think? Poll question. Quick answer, PY. I know you like to go on these
Sorry.
10-minute diatribes, PY, and then you don't answer the poll question.
That's not true. That's some bullshit lie.
That is a truth.
1,000%.
Well, see, now who's going on a tangent? He's just interrupting.
True.
His answer will involve Keely Ringo.
Ironically, it will not involve Keely Ringo. It's 100% good enough. Like, one thing we've seen, even while the offense has stuttered during the season, like, the one true thing has been the defense. Like, in their biggest moments, you've been able to depend on them. Like, obviously, there's been flutters like the Broncos game, like the Giants game. But, like, for the most part, like, your biggest, most important thing has been your defense, has been your play by Zach Bond, has been your play of Quinyon Mitchell and guys like that. Like, obviously, you've had Makuba and Campbell give you stuff here and there, and you had, like, young studs like Moro Jormo giving you spurts, which has been fantastic. Like, they've shown you enough to where you should believe in this defense, and you should 100% believe in this defense even more after what you saw from last night. The last 3 weeks, Jalen Hunt has been unleashed. Jalen Phillips looked phenomenal. Jalen Carter has looked better the last few weeks, which is even huge. And Nolan Smith was all over the field today. Like, it was fantastic. Like, we had pass rush. We had QB hits. We had pressures. Yeah. And what did it show for you? You didn't have blown coverages every other play because he was getting hit all game long, which is fantastic. There's tons of things to feel good about with this defense moving forward. I only think we've scratched the surface because did the guy from the Jet, Michael Carter, did he even play? Like, obviously, we don't know what Jair Alexander didn't play. Like, you have opportunities for these guys to play big roles in the team, even if you don't. Obviously, like, I would love Jair Alexander to take the role at CB2, but, like, if he's just an okay corner and a good depth piece and maybe Jacorian Bennett takes over, that's fantastic. Yes. Without a shadow of a doubt, this defense is good enough to carry you on a deep playoff run, even if the offense sputters.
Brinks, how about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I disagree. It's a good defense. Don't get me wrong. But, I mean, as bad as the Eagles were on offense tonight, the Packers were that much worse. Jordan Love stinks. I don't know how else to put it. So that greatly assisted the Eagles' defensive effort tonight. So it's a good defense. Maybe they can steal a wild card round, but if you're going to play like that on offense, first off, you're going to get smoked next week by Detroit. And you're not beating the Rams. Who else is up there? Seattle, Tampa Bay. Like, if you play like you play tonight, you're not beating those teams. We established on Film Don't Lie that the Packers aren't a Super Bowl contender. So if you play a Super Bowl contender, I don't care how good the defense plays, you're not winning a big-time playoff game against a legit Super Bowl contender playing like that on offense. Howie strikes again on the trade market. Jalen Phillips was incredible. Nakobe Dean, also incredible off the injury. I wasn't expecting a damn thing from him coming off that patella tear. He's been playing, I think this was his third game, if I'm not mistaken, and he's been phenomenal in
third game. Yeah, you're right. It's his third game.
He was fantastic. Those were the two standouts for me on defense.
Awesome. Yeah. To your point about we said, on Film Don't Lie last week, we talked about the Packers not being really in that tier 1 Super Bowl contender tier anymore, and I was waffling on them. I think to your point, we kind of got into a little bit of disagreement about Tucker Kraft, and I think we saw tonight Tucker Kraft's absence was felt. Like, that offense could not move, and when you lose your leading receiver, he led the team in yardage. He was second on the team in receptions, I believe, and he had 6 touchdowns, which I believe led the 6 receiving touchdowns, which also led the team. Like, that impact from his absence was absolutely there. Like, you could tell. It had any easy
play would have been shut out had Jihad Campbell not tackled Tucker Kraft's backup unnecessarily when the guy wasn't going to catch a ball that was, he would have had to make an incredible catch. And Campbell went down across his legs and made it moot, and they went on to score a touchdown there. They might have kicked a field goal, I don't know, but they were not just going to score a touchdown without that play. And Tucker Kraft probably makes 4 or 5 plays like that.
Yeah. He's been their easy button all year, and like I had said, the loss of him for the Packers was what made me question like their ability. And like I had said, that's huge going into this game. I'm like, them not having Tucker Kraft, that's going to benefit us tremendously, and that showed. But to the poll question, I'm going to agree with it. I think that they've had their flaws, and I know that this was a shorthanded Packers team. Like they didn't have Matthew Golden, Jaden Reed is still out, so they went in the game with.
They lost Romeo Dobbs.
Romeo Dobbs got hurt.
Yeah, a lot of time.
So they had Christian Watson, who I'm not even the biggest fan of, and the Dontavian Wicks, who had his drop. So like they didn't have many receivers. I'm like, It was similar to the playoff game we had against them, where they had Jaden Reed and no one else. So it's like, they're shorthanded. So I get that, I understand that, but at the same time, the defense dominated the line of scrimmage. I know we still have issues with finishing with sacks, but the pressure was there. The linebackers were great. Yeah, like I don't really have, even Adoree Jackson made plays and was very solid this game. And I know that angers PY to say, but
he doesn't. He played solid. I don't amazing tackle.
I don't know if there's any aspect of the defense you can really like get mad at. I think they played a complete game.
I agree.
I think if anything, you can maybe get mad at them allowing the touchdown in the fourth quarter after we scored a touchdown, which is infuriating to see. But I mean, overall, it was just phenomenal. So hats off to the defense. My game ball is to, again, there's so many names you could throw out there, giving the game ball to, and I don't care who you give it to. I'm going to give it to Jalen Phillips. I think Jalen Phillips, man, the newest Eagle, just it's I don't know. Obviously I have to watch the film first. I don't know if I can say he had the best game, but the fact that he's the newcomer on this unit and he had that impact, that's amazing to see.
Yeah, he and Hunt were both A1.
Yes.
Chux. So he had 8 pressures, 6 tackles, a forced fumble recovery, and a QB hit. Like,
that's amazing. That is amazing.
What more could you ask for a guy who's been here like 6 days? Like,
yeah.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. I know Brinks, you said the names that stood out to you on defense. PY, if there's one name you want to give the game ball to, who would you give it to? If it's someone we haven't mentioned yet.
Jalen.
Good one. Yeah. How about you, Lev?
Yeah, I was going to go Phillips or Jalen Hunt, one of the two. Bowen had a good game. Dean had a good game. I didn't think Jihad Campbell had a good game, not just that pass interference, but he was setting the edge once as an edge rusher and got killed. That's probably unfair of me to single out 2 plays. He might have had 20 great plays for all I know. But
Mitchell was phenomenal.
Out of position. He's he's playing on the edge. That's not really.
I know. And I don't know why they were doing that tonight, frankly, with everybody back. I just don't think they wanted a lot of snaps. I didn't really think he did.
I just don't think they wanted to give too many snaps to Graham. Like the fact that you didn't see him until the late third.
Right.
Which was fine. I think that's fine. You just
BG's going to take. You can't just come right back and play football. After being out all year.
I think if you give him like 5 to 10 snaps a game, like that's it. Like that.
Yeah. And
he's better than Patrick Johnson. And for the end of your edge rushers, at the very end of it, I'm okay with that. Like he's going to be a good teammate.
At one point, I joked that Jalen Carter had touched more footballs than AJ Brown. But
oh my God, I can't.
If I were AJ Brown, I'd kill somebody.
Oh my God,
I don't understand this.
I don't.
Every game, he's looking more and more like the smartest person who's ever lived. like WIP wants to go on a rant about what a bad teammate he is and this and that and all this other nonsense. But I'm like, he just looks smarter every game.
Yep.
He's playing for an idiot as an offensive play caller. I mean, that's the only way I can.
Whoa, Wes. I think we're being a little too mean on him.
Oh, shut up! Oh, just stop with that.
It's not. We're too mean. Let's get the cuddle session going with Kevin.
All right,
No,
since you want to,
that's not.
You
fair.
want to take the bait, yeah. Since you want to take the bait, or you want to put the low hanging fruit out there, let's switch over to the offense because
I have a whole notebook full of stuff.
Oh, I have. So
get out, Wes.
PY wants to go on his soapbox and laugh at all, and say like, oh, I was right. But let's remind him that we've been critical of Kevin Patullo just as much as anyone. The issue was never
critical last week.
The issue was never about him, being critical enough of him. It was okay when he does well. Are you willing to give him credit? And was PY ever being fair? We established PY was never being fair when it came.
I literally said, can he show me a little bit more when he did the prior 2 weeks?
So we said it. We established on here that after 1 or 2 bad games, you were already out on Kevin Patullo, and then you tried to come back on it and say, "Well, I need more than 2 games to be."
Yeah, and then he played 4 more bad games. So there you go.
That's besides the point. That's besides the point. So don't try to get on your soapbox and say I was right all along.
Maybe he was.
It was
so
about.
If you have a kid who takes a test every week and in 9 weeks he passes 2 tests, am I supposed to clap my hands like, "Way to go, slugger"? You're not understanding the point.
Anyway,
yeah, you're not understanding the point, and you refuse to understand the point. So
the Eagles made a huge stop on 4th down in the 3rd quarter. The sequence after that offensively, I don't
know
the name of God.
I don't know.
It was just horrible. It was. I thought it might have turned the game around in Green Bay's favor. I mean,
yeah.
And it wasn't like players screwing up. It was just like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that?
So the infamous decision here that everyone in the chat is talking about is, well, aside from Kevin Patullo, is Sirianni's decision to go for it on 4th down with 30-something seconds left.
33.
And it's not like you're deep into it. You're deep in Packers territory. You're on I think it was like
30-something.
Yeah. So it's like fringe field goal area. It's makeable for Jake Elliott, but as we saw, the wind was really So I said in the one chat I'm in, and PY, you're in that chat, so you saw it. I don't know what I would have done. I don't know if I would have kicked it or punted. I don't because it was a long field goal with bad weather. I don't know.
Yeah. So how far was it?
They're on the 35, so it would have been.
It would have been about a 53-yarder, I guess.
In bad weather.
Yeah, I probably would have kicked it because Jake has had a little trouble this year.
So you would have punted it.
Yeah,
you would have punted it. Yeah. So I would have understood. I would have understood that. Whether they have gone for the field goal, I would have been like, okay, like you want to go, you trust Jake Elliott, you want to go up by 6, so you have to force them to score a touchdown. I get that. If they had punted it, I would have been like, their offense has done nothing. Trust your defense. So I would have been okay with either or. Genuine question for you guys, and let's answer it this way. Would even Dan Campbell of the Lions have gone for it on 4th down?
Yes.
You say yes.
100%. Dan Campbell would go to it,
but would he throw to the
4th down with 6 people holding a gun to his head? Okay,
would he throw to the end zone on 4th and 6, or would he throw a nice little slant to Goddard or AJ Brown and pick up the bleeping 1st down and end the game?
Yeah.
I would have, if this was me, obviously, I would have gone to the Goddard play that they had been using a few times during the game. Jalen runs to the side and they toss it to Goddard. I wouldn't have thrown it to AJ, but I can see the thought process. I wouldn't have done it, but I see what he's thinking because we've had plays like this before. 4th and 6, we need to ice this game and we throw something to AJ, and he makes it happen.
Yeah,
so maybe the thought process was, all right, we'll get AJ one-on-one in the end zone. He's going to either catch it.
And it wasn't even one-on-one.
It wasn't.
Double coverage.
It's either he's going to catch it or he's going to get a PI. I think that was kind of the concept.
You can't rely. And I'm not blaming you. I'm not blaming you, PY. I'm not saying I'm not attacking you. I'm saying I'm expounding on it and saying it's predictable. Yes. Because on fourth down, like you alluded to, PY, the Eagles always do this. On fourth down, their go-to play, if it's there, is one-on-one.
On the left-hand side.
They always do it. So it's predictable. And two, from what I saw, they had safety help over the top.
Yep.
So it was double covered anyway. So it's just the decision to go for it, mind-boggling.
Yep.
And the play call, like I don't know how much to put on Hurts as well, because if Hurts has the leeway to decide there, Hurts has to see that they're playing a safety over the top. If that safety is over the top, I'm not throwing that. So if that's Hurts' decision too, then that has to go also on Hurts.
Yep.
And along with Sirianni, along with Kevin Patullo, like that, I don't know what else to say about it. It's just
anything. Like, if that's the call, like they all know they're going for A.J. Brown, that's the perfect, like obviously they're going to be looking at Devontae as well. That's a perfect moment where you draw something up, or like a Jahan Dotson, because he's showing, like in moments like that, you can count on him. Like, I also don't think he's going to be covered like that.
Possibly. I'd have to see the all 22, what else they drew up. I don't know if it was like all go, but whatever. Brinks, we talked about it a lot. I don't know if you have anything to add.
No, I would have probably tried a 53-yarder with the way these guys kick these days.
It's pretty windy.
I'm going with that.
Okay.
I'm going. I mean, I was at the Bills game last year, and he kicked like a 62-yarder in bad weather.
Yeah. So I totally get that. Because Jake he's
a really good kicker.
Yeah,
he's 7 of 9. He's 7 of 9 on field goals. He missed one. I think he missed one against Minnesota.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago in the Dome. So
yeah, but the two he missed, weren't they like 50 plus?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I can't recall. I cannot recall his second miss.
But he's made a lot of 50 plus field goals this year. I know last year
he was one of one. He was one of one tonight before they decided to go for it in bad weather.
Well, I think I understand if you don't like the field goal there, and I'm queasy about the field goal, but you have a better chance of a field goal than a touchdown pass.
A touchdown, yeah. God, I don't even know.
But I think you can pick up 4th and 6 without throwing a touchdown pass, and I think you could punt to the 10-yard line and really, make it unlikely for them to get within field goal range. But,
even if it was a touchback, they're at their own 20. I don't make them go 50 yards with no timeouts and 30-something seconds left.
That was almost a disaster. I mean, that was one play away from being a disaster.
Yeah,
it really was.
It seriously was. It was really bad.
And a self-inflicted disaster.
Yeah,
but I don't want to spend the whole game talking about it, but I just can't. There's not that often that I come away from a game with what in the world? And he won't explain. His explanation will make no sense.
Oh, yeah. The press conferences are going to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. So.
They also threw it. They also threw it on 2nd and 3rd down.
Yeah.
The Green Bay Packers to not use timeouts.
Yeah, that was an earlier sequence. That wasn't that sequence.
Yeah. So I don't. I understand the one. If you're talking about the one where they called a play action and it was a boot out, they're trying to do the slide route, or I think it was a slide route, and then Micah was chasing down Hurts, so he had to throw it away. I understand trying to change it up, So I think Micah just made a really good play. I think another thing that would have been super frustrating, I'll see on the all 22, but man, if Saquon. I need to see if Saquon would have housed that had Micah not tripped him.
1,000% would have housed it. It's a tripping penalty.
I have a feeling he would have, but like I need
Good point.
I need to see second and third level defense. But if it's what I suspect it was, because that they looked like they loaded the box. If Micah hadn't tripped him, man, I think there's I have a strong feeling that would have been a house call. And if that was like, if we had lost this, that would be one of the plays where I would have just lost my mind. Like,
how many times I counted 5-6 times in the first half where they ran the football on third and double-digit yardage.
Oh yeah, due to Shipley,
it was conservative. Yeah. It was conservative the entire game.
Right.
It was offensively for both sides. It was like watching paint dry. It was like an Army-Navy game from 1945. And then in the biggest spot, and you try and get aggressive. It just did the.
From the Green Bay end, I can kind of see it in that they had so many receivers out, and Love wasn't throwing it very well. I mean, they wanted to be conservative. Their best play was Jacobs running the ball.
Mm-hmm.
From the Eagles' standpoint, I don't quite get it. I don't understand why this offense can't, consistently pass the ball. Yeah, they have a good defense on Green Bay, but they're not the best defense in the league. And you just won't even try a lot of times to throw the ball down the field. And there was some pass rush pressure, but did you hear Micah Parsons' name mentioned before he tripped Barkley at all?
No.
I mean, they had some pass rush pressure, but it wasn't like it was unbelievable and they could never have possibly completed a pass.
Yeah. As usual, he delivers absolutely nothing against the Eagles.
Yeah, that's remarkable.
He was talking about this for 3 weeks. Where he's like, we're not looking past the Panthers. The Eagles are with the Eagles on the horizon. Gets beat, loses to the Panthers, and then barely puts 7 points of offense. They put barely 7 points of offense on there. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't play on the offense, but
I know, but like. You're revving the engines, you're talking your stuff like he always does. Right. And then when they look stupid, he's like, I don't know what happened.
Well, I'm not.
And somebody today mentioned to me that, trying to win at Lambeau. I've covered a lot of games at Lambeau. I've covered more Eagles wins than losses there.
Yeah, right.
Lambeau
is not this mysterious place.
It's beautiful. There's the snow and the fans, but it's not a particularly tough place to win.
12 is not back there anymore.
It's not a dome. You can hear. They don't have Aaron Rodgers. It's
if prime Aaron Rodgers was there, you know what? Maybe I'd be worried. But
prime
Aaron Rodgers is not stepping in there. Bart Starr's not showing up.
To the Eagles there the day remember the Lurie wanting to know why Doug Peterson ran the ball so much? That was at Lambeau.
Oh, that was at Lambeau. Yeah. That was.
I mean, yes, the Packers are a good team. They have beaten the Eagles certainly, but playing at Lambeau is not any.
Yeah, I wouldn't like put it.
It's the Midwest. It's the Midwest. Yeah. It's only so hard to play. Even the good teams out west. I mean, Seattle seems like it can be a bear no matter how good they are. Same with Denver, but these LA stadiums, like these Vikings and Bears and Packers, it's the Midwest. Nick
Sirianni never has lost to the NFC North. I believe 10-0.
That's true. Right? He is now 5-0 after the bye.
I did
He's
not.
He's now 5-0 after the bye week as well. His 5.
And speaking of the bye week, Rob, that I'll shut up here in a minute, but. This, as ugly as this was, it reminded me a little bit of that awful Cleveland game right after the bye last year, where they just barely beat a horrible Browns team. Nick brought his kids to the press conference.
Yeah, so no one was scared.
Mad. People were wanting to ask him tough questions.
I literally hope he brings his kids to the press conference.
And, it was, but they were awful that game. And he was talking about how great Deshaun Watson had played. Yeah.
Eagles beat reporters are probably like, Nick, we would probably rather talk to your kids today.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk to you right now.
My point would be that after that awful win, they went on and really kind of caught fire and played much better. So maybe we'll see that starting Sunday night against Detroit. It'll help.
Maybe.
But yeah, this was a very puzzling offensive game to me.
Yeah, I think if
It's-
I'm looking at this offense, I think that Kevin Patullo deserves most of the blame. I think he had three. I don't know if I'd count four like that last drive. I guess not, but I'd say three good drives. I think the first two drives. I know the second one was a 3-and-out, but I thought that second down screen call was a good call. Saquon just tripped, so I don't. That's not Kevin Patullo. So I think those two drives were good, and then the drive out to begin the second half was good. Outside of that, is just
Well, they
fucking
had a
Fred-
really good drive, Chucks, in the first half, and they got all the way down there, and Edgerrin Cooper made a fantastic play and punched the ball.
That's what
out
I'm
of
saying.
Jalen.
That's what I'm saying. That first drive was a really good drive.
Well, they
So,
went
like,
60-some yards on that drive.
Yeah.
The problem was they got the ball on the 8-yard line. You know,
yeah.
they ran like 15 plays. They weren't even in the red zone.
Yep, I know. Yeah. So that's three good drives by Kevin Patullo is not going to cut it.
The O-line didn't help him much. I know
No, O-line didn't help.
Wayne got hurt.
O-line
out
was
for much of
terrible.
the game. But Mailata kept somebody on the other side from Mailata was doing something that Mailata thought meant he could move. And I don't know if he still doesn't understand the rules yet, but the defensive player has to come across the line of scrimmage before you can jump up and start pointing at him. Twice he did that. They had a bad penalty on Toth that erased a big play.
Big run by
It was Fred Johnson had one unfortunate inability to get to a really good linebacker that would have made a difference, but you can't. He's Fred Johnson. I mean, he's not Lane Johnson.
Exactly.
He'd be getting paid a lot more. The offensive line wasn't great, but it was mostly the play calling, I think.
Yeah, mostly the play calling. The penalties.
Hurts was high and wide a little bit.
Yeah,
but I thought he made some big plays too. I mean,
I don't think this was one of Hurts's better games. Do I think that it was mainly on him? No, obviously not. But I don't think this wouldn't go down. There were some throws and decisions. I'm like, that's not good. The one throw to Devontae Smith on second down right before halftime. That was a miss. Like you've got to hit him because you hit Devontae Smith on that comeback, and you could potentially play for a field goal, but missed that, and then they did the
he missed Calcaterra down the seam.
He missed Calcaterra on that.
Did he miss him or did Grant slow up?
I don't know.
No, you put that right in his chest, and he walks in for a touchdown.
Right.
Like, that was an awful throw. He missed him by a mile.
A little more air under that. There's nobody around. Get a little more air under that. It's a big play.
Yeah, so it wasn't his best game, but
he made some incredible plays too. There was a conversion on third down, I guess, third and long conversion where he was running for his life, and he completed it. The touchdown pass to Devontae was wonderful.
A little underthrown, but I mean, when you have Devontae Smith, you can afford to.
Well, given he couldn't step into it at all.
Yeah, he couldn't step into it. Yeah, that too. I think Les, you were talking about the one where he threw across the field again, against the grain.
That might have been it. That was a Goddard play.
Yeah.
The one I was thinking about might have been to Shipley, actually.
Oh, to Shipley. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, when he rolled out and he hit Shipley, yeah. I think that was that the first drive?
Might have been.
Yeah, that might have been on the first drive. Yeah. So he had some good plays outside the pocket. So definitely not a horrible game from him. Not his best, but not horrible. Saquon, I thought Saquon at first he looked. I know a lot of people on Twitter had mentioned like he looks like he's still hampered by the groin, possibly. But I still think that, especially as the game went on, I think he got his legs on their own. I think
he got every yard that was there to be gotten. They're just not blocking like they did last year.
Yeah. So I think he did again. Micah. If Micah doesn't trip him, I really do think that's a call.
And teams know, there was one play tonight. I think it was a second and long run to the left side where you saw the Green Bay defense just shift right there, and they got him like way behind the line of scrimmage. There was no chance of that play working, no chance whatsoever. And that didn't happen much last year.
It didn't, yeah.
I would like to see a little bit more from under center, like we had seen the last few weeks. Because I also do think, especially last week, that did help open up the run game a little bit because you weren't exactly sure where exactly you were going.
They were under center a lot tonight.
I did see a good amount.
Late they were. Yeah, there was a big long stretch where it didn't seem like to me that they were, but I wasn't really charting it.
I wouldn't chart. I'll chart it, and on Film Don't Lie tomorrow or Wednesday morning, I'll have the figures. But like, I did see it a decent amount. I do wonder, and I was going to bring this up earlier. I do wonder if Lane's injury, which made Fred Johnson sub in at right tackle, kind of made them go away from Jumbo a lot.
Yeah.
So that could have been a reason why they didn't do as much under center. And I know in the fourth quarter, Lane came back and they went Jumbo, and it was immediately like a tackle for loss. But still, like, just the one play doesn't indicate like what it could have been the whole game. So I do wonder if that hampered part of the game plan. But I am glad. I'll say that, I'll put it also this way. I know I had a friend who was kind of angry at all the run calls. I'll see I had to see what they were calling, but I'm kind of glad they stuck with the run because there were some plays where Saquon, especially early in the third quarter, he was getting some good yardage. So like they stuck with it. But
just it seems like to me they'd have a series where they run it 3 times and then a series where they pass it 3 times.
Yeah,
I don't feel any kind of sequencing or rhythm to it at all.
Yeah, the sequencing is bad. So you don't like there's no flow or nothing is getting married to each other. So like that's what's and it's a shame because before the bye we had seen more of it. We'd seen we saw hits of like, oh, okay, like it's coming together. And then this offensive performance comes out and it's just like, where did all of it go? Like this looks like how it was early in the year, and this is incredibly frustrating. Thank you. If you're in the chat, we appreciate you chiming in and viewing us. Like, keep it coming in. And this is from just observing the chat. It's like, I'll ask you guys this. Is this the most frustrating win that you can remember the Eagles having?
No,
I know unless we have more than more to call it now. So maybe you can, but like I'm trying to think of like
pull up the tape of the 2023 season when they were 10-1 because
both Commanders games were far more frustrating than this.
Yeah. They've done this before. I mean, I don't remember a 10-7 final, but the Cleveland game last year,
it was pretty frustrating.
There. I mean, that was a terrible team, and they what was the final on that? It was a very low scoring game.
It wasn't a lot. I remember that
16-13 or something like that.
Yeah.
No, they've done
the Packers. The Packers are at least good.
Yeah, too many to choose from. Too many to choose from. Yeah, I hear you. I think it's just. I guess I just expected coming out of the bye for this offense to build on what they were doing.
Yeah.
And the fact that they didn't,
good point.
And it was on national television on Monday night, made it more frustrating because like
2016.
Yeah, 20-16. Yeah. Last year with Cleveland. Yeah.
So it's just frustrating that you saw signs of hope of like things coming together before the bye, and then now it's like, where did everything go? Where did everything go? You maybe less with what you said. Maybe this is their Browns game of this year, where they come out of the bye and like maybe the bye didn't help them rhythm wise. It helped them health wise, but didn't help them get that rhythm back. And maybe there are other factors that as a whole made it be like this. But like it's just really, really frustrating. My one poll question I was going to put, and I'll ask you guys this: does this performance put all the confidence and goodwill that the offense had built before the bye week? Is all that out the window now, or do you still have Do you still have hope that? Are you still have some sort of confidence that the offense can get it together?
I kind of think they psyched themselves out against the fact that Green Bay doesn't give up big plays, and that the weather was going to be something they haven't seen in
they had a
since
conservative
January.
game plan.
I think they kind of did it to themselves a little bit.
Mhm.
But no, I don't think they didn't make a ton of
No.
turnovers or they didn't do anything really egregious. They had dumb plays. That was it.
So, Brinks, what were you gonna say?
It doesn't. The fact that they did bad tonight, it doesn't negate what happened against the Vikings and the Giants. It doesn't.
Mhm.
Right.
A lot of people think it does, judging by what I'm reading in the chat.
Yeah, I know. Eagles man
It
19th
doesn't.
is all out the window. So
It's
Yeah,
No,
I don't
it's
agree
not
with that.
all out the
I'm
window.
the biggest Kevin Patullo hater, but like there were signs of goodness. Like I said last week, if we could continue it moving forward, I'll feel more comfortable. Like if you have a good offensive showing against the Lions and against the Cowboys, that's a big sign. Like that's a big vote of
Right.
confidence for me and for the team, because if you show that you can go punch for punch with the Lions, I'm going to feel really strong about Kevin Patullo and this offense. If you
here's the thing. Either he's going to learn from this and be better. There are a lot of smart people in that building, and they're not going to let this go all year like this. If he can't figure out how to do things in
good point.
with a sequence and a rhythm and a flow, they'll make a change there at some point,
So
whether they announce it or not.
so that
Changed
also worries me.
who though?
Let the quarterbacks coach call the plays. Let
I mean,
Sirianni call the plays. I don't.
Wasn't he an OC at like Bowling Green or something?
Yeah, though the head coach of Bowling Green is.
He was the head coach of Bowling Green. Okay, so I like that you made that statement, because that would kind of worry me a little bit, because we did something similar in 23. Obviously, we had a more seasoned play caller in there in Matt Patricia, and it went really bad. So I'm like,
I don't think this is that comparable though.
Yeah.
Like there are examples of it going bad. There are examples, and I'm talking NFL as a whole. There are examples of it going well. When you switch play callers, it does change stuff up.
This late in the season, though?
Yeah. Yes.
Sure, you can do it.
Dan Campbell called plays yesterday.
Andy Reid will give it to the quarterback's coach or the OC for a game or two if things aren't going well, and then take it back. He's been doing that his whole career.
Exactly.
Right.
So
It's not like you're designing a new offense.
So I guess my question would be, do we think Howie is okay with and Nick is okay with enough to basically just come out and be like, yeah, we made a mistake. We were wrong. Let's pivot.
Do that. No. They're going to
by taking power away from Kevin and taking play
we're going to give Kevin
aren't you basically
help. We're going to let
the
him
egg on the face
on such and such. They're not going to say we made a mistake. They're not going to fire the guy, but I'm saying they will adjust, and somebody else will be either making strong suggestions or calling the plays if this.
But isn't that like a soft firing essentially?
Sure it is. That's.
I think you're making a little too much of it, of PY. I think that obviously there are offensive coordinators that don't call plays, so he will still have the title of offensive coordinator, but just not call plays. So he'll still be meeting rooms, helping design the offense, all of that. But I get I'm with Les.
He would probably have input into the play call.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So
I'm with somebody saying, maybe we should do this instead of that.
Exactly.
It's what I'm envisioning.
We should have vanilla ice cream instead of chocolate.
Not that they're going to, call somebody in and start running the single wing or something like that. No, they're just you can fine tune.
Yeah,
his scripts to start each half have been good.
They've been good. They've been good.
When the scripts aren't working or he runs out of plays that he scripted, that's when he seems to really struggle.
Yes.
Yeah, inconsistent. So VD Page says, look at the Dolphins so much better, and they have a new play caller, look like a different team. It can work. I do want to bring up this other comment from Eagles Man. He says they haven't shown any consistency all year. It's week 10. If they haven't shown it at this point, it's never happening. That's just a bold-faced false statement. We
saw that last year.
They play 17 games now.
We've seen teams turn it on in December.
We're halfway through.
completely different team in December.
Yeah.
Like
the
it's
last
Yeah.
6 or 7 games to end the season last year is like that's kind of when like the Eagles just went full
under-
kilter into
exactly.
superstar like God
Yeah.
mode.
Yeah. The December, if we were in like mid-December, then I would see the
Yeah.
worry.
The
But
last
yeah,
month of the season is the only is what really matters because like look at the downfall in 23. Like it was that last month or so that like killed you.
yeah, that's when everything got exposed. So it's
Right.
it's I don't think it's too late for anything. It's
No.
still halfway through the season.
Like,
So-
can we stop with the 23 talk, please?
Yeah.
Like that defense was inept. And they were
Yeah,
getting
it
by
was.
on smoke
And
and
that's
mirrors.
By a lot, yeah.
And
I think
that's
T.Y.
what
made that point.
The Niners put up a million
Yeah.
points on them because they had no defense up the middle. And the fact that the defense couldn't stop anyone, it just drug the whole thing down. And then Jalen
Yep.
fell apart and the offense fell apart.
Yep.
This is not 2023. It's
If
apples and
you
Bowen.
had been before, I don't want to get too far off on that, but if you were the kind of team in 2023 that was, well, maybe we can sneak into the playoffs, it wouldn't have mattered so much that the defense was horrible. But those guys had almost won the Super Bowl, probably should have won the Super Bowl. And now they were realizing like 10, 12 games into the next season that they weren't good enough to get back there, that defense wasn't going to get them back there. And I think the whole team just kind of emotionally they got to where they couldn't beat anybody. They just weren't into it. And I don't think that's going to happen again.
You didn't have 2023. Saquon Barkley was not here.
Right.
A.J. Brown got hurt. Didn't play in the final against the Giants.
And the defense
didn't
was
play in
night
the
and
wild
day.
card game.
The defense was night and day different from this group. It wasn't even close to this group. But
100%. 100%.
This
you
defense
can
has
see,
safeties
though,
and
in the-
linebackers that are professional players.
Yeah.
in the frustrating wins, you can certainly see why people bring it up, because of the silly silly things that happen and you somehow end up winning this game, the Rams game, but no, I don't think it's 2023. And I think they're a 7-2 team that's probably beaten more good teams than anybody in the league.
Yep.
Yeah. And we need to remind also people that also like they only watch the Eagles and not a lot of like the rest of the league. There are a lot of teams that are facing really inconsistent play. I mean, we just faced one in the Packers. They lost to the Panthers the week before.
The Browns.
Bills just lost to the Dolphins.
Exactly.
So
They just lose. They got spanked on national television.
They got run out by the Dolphins. Really,
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't.
I don't think there's a team in this league that isn't susceptible to a loss. Like every team can be beaten like convincingly on any given Sunday. So like as frustrating as this win was still, and I'm frustrated as anyone. Like I'm really irritated. Anyone hitting the panic button they need to kind of
you just beat the Packers at Lambeau. I don't care what it looks like. They're a good team. They're not a great team. They've been overhyped for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
But they're a good team. They're gonna go probably to the playoffs. They might win a game. Like that's a good team. Like they've been overblown because of the Micah Parsons trade, but they're still a good team. And you got a good win. It was an ugly win, but it's a good win.
Yeah, I didn't think this was going to be some, extravaganza. I figured maybe a 20-17 Eagles win.
I thought it was going to be a little bit more high scoring than 10-7, but I hear
a lot of points there, Chux.
Huh?
It's a lot of points.
Yeah, a lot of points.
Who bet the under?
Also, this division is on ice.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Commanders are cooked. The Giants fired their coach today.
Yes.
Dallas is average at best. In 2023,
Jackson Dart is one concussion away from the loony bin at this point. Like it's crazy.
Brian Dable, a good
point there
by
by defense 32 there. That
Yes.
is true, mostly because of injury.
Yeah.
We have no idea when Juergens is going to be back,
No.
but that would be nice.
I'm
Hopefully
okay
he-
with waiting for him, like just
Oh,
because,
waiting,
like,
yeah. I thought you were
because
going
he
to say
just
you were okay
he
with
was
Toth.
suspect. He was suspect. I thought Toph has been very good the last 2 weeks. Obviously, the first week he was suspect, and look, the
He was
penalty
real
was
good
stupid.
against the Giants. He was okay, sort of today.
Yeah,
And he's
but
about-
when you're
he wasn't
going
great
against
today. But
Michael
Juergens hasn't been
Parsons,
playing great.
Devontae Wyatt, like
Yeah.
Quay Walker, like you've never really played center. What was the last time he played center other than this year? Like,
Yeah, I hear you.
has he
I
ever
think-
played center?
I'll say it this way: while this is the most suspect O-line we've had in years, I guarantee you there are 20 teams that would kill for this O-line.
Exactly.
That's true.
The fact that this
We're
is
talking
our
about being
core-
the best in the league.
Joe
yeah,
Burrow would give up his left and right kidney and both testicles for this offensive line. Let's just be honest right now. Like,
it's CJ Stroud would kill for this offensive line.
yeah, right.
Let's
That's true.
I think they should think about putting Fred Johnson in at guard. I think I've seen enough from Tyler Steen.
What?
I'm okay with Tyler Steen. I don't know.
Tyler Steen has been one of your better offensive linemen for the year.
I won't
No,
say
he
better.
hasn't.
I think
Yes, he has.
No, he hasn't.
Every
I-
metric
I
will
don't think he
states
has.
that.
I won't say better. I will not say better. I will say he's been consistently solid. I don't think that Fred Johnson moving him inside would be a big solution. I think Fred Johnson has shown he's capable at tackle, and I wouldn't move when the issue with the offensive line right now is injuries and inconsistency. You don't take Tyler Steen, who's been consistent for what he is, out because that just leads to
Right.
more inconsistency.
Yeah, I
So-
kind of agree, but I'm not a big Tyler Steen guy. I'm really not. What we really have to hope, I mean, I know Lane Johnson came back and played tonight, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's wonderful for going on into the future.
Yeah.
Let's really hope that that's not like a high ankle sprain that he's going to be playing with for the rest of the season, and he's going to not look like Lane Johnson, and that could certainly happen. But that they got to get healthy up there. They got to get healthier anyway. And Mailata's got to stop taking stupid penalties.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's been terrible.
Yeah.
He's been worse than Steen.
He's been
this
bad.
year.
He's had a lot of. This is the worst
Well,
season.
it's all in his head, Chux. It's all in his head, Chux, because he didn't have. I've heard him say the comment multiple times this year. Is like, "Oh, my body's still tired from the Super Bowl run."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
shut the front door, kid.
Yeah.
You're gonna be
Well,
playing.
that's
late
where you
in
get
January
into
again.
not coming from a football culture, not really being somebody who grew up dying to do this.
Yeah.
It kind of makes a difference sometimes. He's
I-
a very responsible, decent person,
Yeah.
but he's not somebody who's just, boy, I can't wait to go out and play football today.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that with Mailata, I'll still give him the benefit of the doubt. I think that he'll when it comes time in December and January, he's gonna play fine. But yeah, I'm 100% admitting that he hasn't been his usual self this season. 100%.
Did you
SBM,
catch what Mailata said after Brandon Graham's first practice back with the team?
no, I did not.
That they were stretching, and Graham yells to Mailata, "Hey, fat boy, you're already sweating and we ain't even started practice yet."
My God. Oh my God.
I mean,
Which
that's
I'm
com-
not
coming.
saying
That's
that.
coming from someone who's been on the radio and podcast the first
Yeah,
10 weeks
But-
of the year. And SJM, dude, like the Eagles' offensive line last year was one of the best of all time in the league's
Yeah.
history.
it was.
So
Yeah. So yeah, he's asking what the point, like what it means is. It just means that even though we're not what we were last year, this line is still good enough. It should be good enough, and
Right.
when healthy, it should be good enough when healthy to still win. And that's what I'm saying. Like we've been bitten with a lot of injuries. Like beginning of the year, you had Dickerson not being fully healthy, so that really hampered him. And now that he's healthier, he's playing much better.
Yep.
Juergens isn't in there. Lane just got hurt, so
Right.
it's a confluence of a lot of injuries that has really affected this line.
Yeah.
But if they are healthy going into the playoffs, the line I think is still going to be fine. It doesn't need to be dominant. And I'm like, it's like this comment. I'm so tired of Becton being mentioned. Like, okay, Becton is a better run blocker, much better run blocker, and that played into our identity last year. I get it.
He had
We don't
some
need to beat a
problems
dead
in
horse.
pass pro.
He
though.
wasn't a great pass blocker.
Yeah, every
I
time
think
he
we all
saw
know
a twist
this.
or a
Like,
stunt, it was
Exactly.
something that
He gave it up. I think people are forgetting that. Like Becton did have his issues in pass protection, and I this is good. This goes to the whole thing about like Steen. Yeah, he's not. I get he doesn't have he's not a standout guy, but I'm not going to get on the guy when he's been consistent all year. He's been consistently solid all year, and just because he's not Becton in the run game doesn't mean we have to keep beating this dead horse of we should have kept Becton. Have you guys been watching the Chargers?
Yeah, I was just going to say
Becton has been hurt almost.
He's been hurt and he's been playing poorly when he hasn't been hurt.
He's Jets Becton over there just because it's like we
really
sucked all the healthy energy.
It is a miracle.
Was available.
It is like the football god's divine intervention that the 1 year he was with us, he stayed healthy all year.
Yep.
And I think the Eagles knew better than to pay that guy.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I will.
Did they pay him
don't get it twisted.
Ridiculously cheap or something?
I don't get it twisted. I love Becton. I always will for what he did for us that season. Like, I love the guy. I loved his story, being able to come in here and help deliver a Super Bowl and be as dominant as he was as a run blocker. I love the guy. But can we stop with the we should have re-signed Becton? Like, it's not fair to Steen, and it's just having hindsight 2020.
Right.
Like, it's not. It wasn't a good thing. It wasn't going to be a good decision to keep him here. I'm telling you.
To Mr. Defense's point there, I understand what you're saying, and I'm a little frustrated with Steen. I thought maybe he'd be better than frankly average, which is kind of how I see him. But you can't have everything. They had an embarrassment of riches last year for a lot of reasons. It was Howie Roseman was smart, but he was also lucky in a lot of instances. You just can't maintain A1 Pro Bowl players at every position.
Mm-hmm.
It just isn't
like CB2.
You can't pay for that. This isn't MLB. They can't hand out deferred contracts like the Dodgers do, or anything. It's just you got to get by with somebody like Steen at right guard. You don't get by at like quarterback or edge rusher, but you got to get by with something at right guard. Yeah.
I think that if the line wasn't, if like Jurgen struggling, Dickerson struggling, if the line as a whole wasn't struggling the way they had been so far, I think this whole Tyler Steen thing is not even mentioned.
You're right.
That's just, I'm not. He's not going to be someone that I'm going to point the finger at and say, like, he's the problem. Like, Is he a solution? Like, is he an impact offensive lineman? No, he's not. But he's far from the problem. Yeah. So, I'm not gonna say him. So, before we go, this conversation is going to be talked about ad nauseum. I want to put it, now that the trade deadline's over, I want to get everyone's just thoughts on this now and just put it to rest until we get to the offseason. But Jacob Hensler, and I know other people have said this, because we are 100% trading A.J. Brown during the draft.
No, we're not.
Just real quick, don't have to dive into it. Everyone give their thoughts. Are we trading A.J. Brown?
No.
Probably
the guy
not.
just
when he starts doing push-ups in the driveway, then I'll start giving a shit. Like, if anything, all it does is this continues to show why A.J. Brown is not going anywhere, because he, like everyone else in the building, knows this should not be as bad as it is.
I agree. I agree with you, except here's the thing. If you can't figure out a way to consistently get him involved in the offense, is there a point where next spring you look at what you need at other positions or in the draft,
Offensive
and you
line.
think, well, we could draft a pretty good receiver in the second round. He wouldn't be A.J. Brown probably, but he could be a really good receiver, and Devontae's an excellent receiver. If we could get X for him, would we think about it? Yeah, you'd have to, but I don't think it'll happen. But yeah, it's possible. But no, not 100%. No, you're not anywhere near 100. You're 10% trading A.J. Brown during the draft.
I'm with you, Les. I think there's a slight chance because I think that as you get closer to, was it to 2029? Is that when the TV deals stop and all the dead money is now due for these contracts? I think when you get closer to that, I think Howie has this in mind, and so he's going to have to really consider who's going to be on long term, as it gets closer to that. What you said is perfectly put. Can they, depending on how this season goes, are they going to have to shift their mindset to try to allocate resources smartly to try to rebuild? Like offensive line, if Lane Johnson is close to retirement, you're going to need his replacement. Offensive tackle. I'm sure we could use a right guard because Steen can be. You can get an upgrade from Steen. So offensive line is one. Another corner could be another one. So like 100%, you have to consider it. Would I even go as high as you did and say 10%? I'd say like 5% at the most. Okay. So I think like, and I'm not saying like you're crazy. I'm just saying like, I think I'm in that range where it's so small of a chance of it happening. And so I don't expect it, but like, I'm also not going to say it's impossible. So yeah, I think you have to consider it because AJ is also aging. So like, at what point do you say, okay, like he's an aging asset, and I feel taboo saying it. I like saying he's aging when he's still an elite player. So I feel really, really guilty saying it. But like, is he going to be in your long-term plans 5 years from now,
or even 3 years from now?
Or even 3 years from now? Yeah. So I don't know. So and it's not like his contract is as flexible as Saquon's, from what I remember, because Saquon's, I think after the second year there's an out. So I think Saquon is even more flexible, even though he's aging. You can get out of that contract 2 years from now, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't think it's impossible, but I think it's still very improbable. Brinks, what was your thought?
The guy is a terrific player.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
he just wants more.
He wants to get his stats and win, but like I didn't see him being a problem tonight, even though it was.
Joseph has a good point here. That is very true. Yes, he did have a great block there.
Yeah, 100%.
On the I think it was a pass play to Saquon. I think it was right.
Yeah.
Guys who don't care and guys who don't want to be there, they're not putting in the effort to make that block. They're just standing there. Like, I understand that, like, because we had the TO situation, that people just want to assume he's a rotten egg. He's not. He's a good guy. He wants the rock. He knows when he gets the rock, good things happen. Yeah. And he knows that this offense is not good enough. Like, I understand if we all up like 30 points a game. Yeah. Like, if we were putting up like 30 points a game, Saquon was rushing for 200 yards a game like he was doing last year, AJ would sound stupid. Like, he would look stupid. But that's not the case. It's not the 2024 offense. He's right in everything he says.
I noticed, like, last year when the whole thing started, it was because the passing offense wasn't playing well.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not like he's ever wrong, So,
right. He said those things after a game against Carolina that they barely won. It was a lot like tonight's game, frankly.
Like, maybe he should be
against the worst team.
Like, maybe he should be better with how he presents what he thinks.
Absolutely, yes.
But it doesn't mean he's wrong. Look, sometimes I don't always put my statements as eloquently as other people, but that doesn't mean I'm wrong just because I don't put it that way.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, so we're all on the same page.
So tonight we all agree it was a disaster. But I mean,
But it was a good disaster,
They're opening as favorites at home against the Lions next week,
which is crazy.
Okay.
I wouldn't even say it's a disaster. I would just say it's a bizarre,
Yeah, but you covered this,
WTF kind of game.
This team in this
Any
town
game,
for how many years?
Anytime you win against a decent team and nobody goes down for the
about
season.
that on WIP and 97.5 The Fanatic West. They're going to be. The phone lines are going to be.
That's why I just focus. That's why I only listen to Bill Call Rule.
Jalen Hurts sucks. ESPN's going to have the little thing on the bottom. Is Jalen Hurts really that good? You know how this
fantastic.
Is go
I don't care. My quarterback, Sam Darnold's an MVP candidate with the exact same stats as Jalen Hurts. So I could really care less about that.
Do they have the exact same stats? I don't know what.
Not anymore. Sam Darnold's on fire.
He is.
Jalen Hurts is good, but he's not on fire like Darnold. Darnold's the MVP right now.
Yep.
Every week with somebody else. Is it Stafford or is it Darnold?
It's true.
I think it's
another one. Yes.
I'd say Stafford. I think Stafford.
How about this slate though? Next week you got 4:25. You got Denver and Kansas City. 4:25. You got Denver or Seattle and the Rams, and then at 8:30 you got the Eagles and the Lions.
That's pretty good.
That's a good slate.
solid 5-6 hours you got right there.
I'm excited. Yeah,
I think that'll single-handedly right the ship for Denver. If they could somehow beat the Chiefs, you'll start talking about them in a positive light again.
If you guys, those who are listening in on Film Don't Lie, coming out on Wednesday morning, we are going to talk about, not only we're going to break down the film because I'm going to watch it tomorrow. We're going to break down film of this Eagles-Packers game to see what really went wrong on the offensive side. But we are going to talk about that matchup coming up, the Rams-Seahawks. I am so excited because you're arguably the top two teams in the NFC along with the Eagles, and they're going at it. That's going to be such a great game. So, gentlemen, any final thoughts before we call it a good late night to end the show?
If they lose next week to Detroit, which is obviously possible, Detroit's playing really well right now. It's not going to look like this. It's going to look.
No, it's not.
Better. I agree. Yeah. I agree.
A loss next week tells you absolutely nothing, in my opinion. Unless it's a complete blowout. Unless it's a blowout. That's the only thing that will tell me.
We'll see. I don't know.
Because Detroit's really good.
Detroit's really good. The Eagles are really good, too. They just don't always play like it.
But you go out and you lose. If they were playing the Cowboys and they went out there and they lost, I think that would say more than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen.
It depends on how it ends up. But, gentlemen, for those who are tuned in and came on to be with us for this post-game recap show of the Eagles-Packers, we greatly appreciate it. All of you, the chat was flying today, so thank you. Even to the guys we didn't agree with on here, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, thank you to our sponsor, Baggio's Bread, located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Mention ATD Radio to get 10% off your in-store purchase. And remember, Wednesday morning, again, Film Don't Lie, me and Pete Evans will be breaking down film of this game as well as covering a lot of the other games from around the NFL. So for myself, for Brinks, for PY, and our good friend Les Bowen, thank you guys. The Eagles won. Granted, frustrating win, but they won. We are now 7-2. So
7-2.
7-2. We appreciate it. For the rest of us, we'll see you guys same time next week. Peace.